Hello everyone and welcome back to Mastermind e-learning. In this series of videos, we are going to learn about whole numbers. In the previous two videos, we have just seen what are whole numbers and what are natural numbers, how they are different. We also learned the different properties of addition and subtraction of whole numbers. In this video, we are going to learn the properties of multiplication of whole numbers. So let's get started. Okay, so let's begin. Now, if we multiply two whole numbers, say 3 and 7. So 3 7s are 21. Let's take one more example. If we multiply 0 by 8, 0 times 8 is 0. Now, in both these cases, when you multiply a whole number by another whole number, the product is always a whole number. So what do we say? We say a whole number multiplied by a whole number is another whole number. So this is the closure property of multiplication. So in general, if we multiply two whole numbers, we always get a whole number. So we can say that whole numbers are closed under multiplication. And if A and B are two whole numbers, then their product, that is A times B, which is C, is also a whole number. So this was the closure property. Now we move on to the commutative property of multiplication. Now let's check whether if we multiply two whole numbers, can we multiply them in any order? Yes. In case of multiplication of whole numbers, the order in which we multiply does not change the answer. Now let's see this with an example. Say if you multiply a whole number 3 by another whole number 4, what is the product? The product is 12. 3 4s is 12. Now if you interchange the places of this 3 and 4, so we have 4 times 3 and that is also 12. Right? So we can say that 3 times 4 is 12 and 4 times 3 is also 12. So that means 3 multiplied by 4 is equal to 4 multiplied by 3. So that means in general, if A and B are two whole numbers, then A multiplied by B is equal to B multiplied by A. So this is known as the commutative property of multiplication. Next, we will see the associative property of multiplication. Now, this property is used for three whole numbers. Now, in the case of multiplication of whole numbers, the product does not change even if the grouping is changed. Now, what does this mean? Suppose we have three whole numbers like 3, 4 and 5 and we want to multiply them. So how do we multiply generally? Generally we take two numbers at a time, we multiply both of them and then we multiply the third one. So let's multiply it like this. Say for example, we first multiply it like this. We multiply 4 times 5, that is 20, and that 20 you multiply it to this 3. So 23 is 60. So this is our final product. Now, I had grouped it in this way, like I had grouped the 4 and 5 together. Now this time if I shift this grouping like this, that is I multiply 3 and 4 and then multiply the 5. So if I do 3 times 4, it will be 12. And then when I multiply 12 times 5, it would be 60 again. So the answer is again 60. So that means 3 times 4 times 5 is equal to 3 times 4 times 5. That is, if I put the bracket here or I put the bracket here, the product does not change. So this property is known as the associative property of multiplication. Now let us put the general formula for it. In general, when we multiply 3 or more whole numbers, whichever way we group the numbers, or whichever order we multiply, the final result remains the same. So in general, if A, B and C are three whole numbers, then A into B into C is equal to A into B into C. That is, the bracket can be put anywhere, but the product remains the same. Now, this was the associative property of multiplication. Now, there is one more important thing which we are going to learn, and that is the multiplicative identity. In addition, we had seen that there is an additive identity which was 0, because when we added 0 to any number, the value didn't change. Here we are going to see the multiplicative identity of the whole numbers. Now, if you multiply any number by 1, say 7 times 1 or 1 times 7, the product is the number itself, that is 7, right? So then, when 1 is multiplied to any number, the product remains same. So 1 is called the multiplicative identity of whole numbers because it does not change the identity, or it does not change the value of the numbers during multiplication. So what is the multiplicative identity? Multiplicative identity is 1. Multiplicative identity for whole numbers is 1. So in general, if A is any whole number, then A times 1 or 1 times A is equal to A. So this is what we have to remember. We have to remember that 1 is called the multiplicative identity of whole numbers. Now let us see one more important property, and that is the property of 0. When any number is multiplied to 0, the product is also 0. The product is 0. See, for example, if you do 3 times 0 or 20 times 0, any number times 0, the product is going to be 0. So in general, for any whole number A multiplied by 0 is 0. So this is called as the property of 0. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. In the next video, we will be learning about the properties of division of whole numbers. So keep watching Mastermind e-Learning.